Hello and welcome to Inside Tennis Football's practice facility. I'm Ryan Sylvia, joined by Noah Taylor, and we are with VolReport.com on the Rivals Network. And as we count down towards kickoff against NC State, we talk to two assistant coaches and two players, both one of each on offense, one of each on defense. So Noah, what assistant coach you want? What was your takeaway?
Yeah, I'll go with Kelsey Pope. I thought that, it was kind of interesting. The headliners in that receiving corps on Saturday were obviously the outside guys, Dante Thornton, kind of stealing the show for them. And then Brew McCoy's return played really, really well. Guys like Squirrel White, you're expecting a lot out of. Chaz Nimrod, you're expecting to take that step as well this year. Those guys were on the field a ton. They just didn't necessarily put up the yards and things like that. But I thought that Kelsey Pope kind of provided some insight about what those guys did bring that maybe you notice right away. And he said, looking back at the film, he thought it was particularly Squirrel White, his best game from a blocking standpoint, how involved they were. Talked about the chemistry in that room. Obviously, Squirrel White especially, but two guys that they're going to get their chances. They're going to get the ball thrown their way at times this year. But he said that those two have done a really good job of maybe it's a group that has a lot of really good chemistry. Guys want each other to do well. They want the ball at the same time. But they do a really good job of approaching it, if the ball's not coming their way, helping in other ways. And it appears from what Pope said that those two did that.
Willie Martinez, the other coach we talked to, defensive backs coach or secondary coach, and he just kind of provided a general oversight, I felt like, of the room, but seemed satisfied like Kelsey Pope did with his unit. But on his unit, on the defensive side of things, got asked about Boo Carter, said, you expect the biggest jumps to come from week 1 to week 2, especially for a freshman, where that's your first game. So he expects that, but that's also just not just for Boo Carter, but throughout the entire room. Where, hey, we got Chattanooga down, we got the film down, we have the experience, and it's for for the entire unit, it's their first time playing together. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of returners, and if you are a returner, then you probably didn't play much last year. So being able to gel like that, and now you're going into a big week 2 matchup, felt like they're in a good spot after doing that in week 1. Spoke specifically on Jermod McCoy, another guy at cornerback who he thought did well, and then Jalen McMurray and some of those other depth pieces behind, where of course Ricky Gibson didn't play. Just overall seemed like he was happy with how that unit performed, which is good because they'll definitely be tested with Concepcion and NC State's offense this week. Well, flipping now to players, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, David Hobbs, obviously one of those North Carolina kids returning home, on Saturday to get to play, near where they grew up. A lot of familiarity there. A lot of guys on this roster from North Carolina, obviously, and the sub coming in too. But a guy that talked a little bit about, the depth on that defensive line and how when he came in, he's going to be a guy on the edge. Rodney Gardner moved him inside, said that he trusted Coach Gardner in that process and has done really well at it, but touted his ability to kind of be versatile. Said he's played a little nose guard. He can still take reps on the edge as well, but something incredibly valuable for a defensive line that we've talked a lot about the depth, talked a lot about the veteran leadership there. But looking ahead to a year from now, a lot of those veterans will be gone, and Hobbs is a guy that obviously in just year 2 here that they're going to expect to carry more of the load next season.
Yeah, spoke with Cooper Mays as well, obviously the starting center for Tennessee. Well, he's right next to the 2 guard positions. You have Javonte Spraggins on the right side. Everyone knows what Spraggins is at this point, but that left guard position still a little bit up in the air. It was Andre Karic who got the start against Chattanooga and played a good amount. Jackson Lampley came in as well to play at the position. At the end of it, their snap counts were about the same, but it looked like Karic maybe took a step in the right direction to solidifying that role as the starter. So asked Cooper Mays about what he thought about Karic and what he did at the left guard position, and he said that obviously Cooper's focused on himself, so I'm not sure how much he's dived into the Karic film, but said he thought he did a good job, and specifically talked about kind of the run game where he thought he shined in and was aggressive in and did a good job in. So once again, another thing for this weekend where that offensive line is going to have to play at a high level, and NC State's got a 3-man front, which makes things a little bit different. A lot of college teams with 4-man fronts, so that's something Tennessee's going to have to kind of keep in mind. And Cooper Mays says he's seen it before. Obviously, it's not super rare. It's just not the most common, but that's something that they're all going to have to communicate with, all going to have to be on the same page and operate at a high level this weekend if Tennessee wants to take down an NC State team that, I guess, as we record this, we'll find out in a few minutes if they're still in that AP top 25. We're hanging on at number 24 before a week showing against Western Carolina. but still a primetime game on ABC in Charlotte. We'll be there. We'll have coverage on game day, this entire week leading up to game day, recruiting, basketball, both men's and women's baseball, everything Tennessee athletics. We have you covered at VolReport.com. Links to everything is in the description. Thank you for watching.